Hello, and welcome to the New Yorkers for Parks webinar series, an opportunity for the New Yorkers for Parks staff to share tools, resources, and resources with you on your own time. I am Gabriella, the Community Outreach Coordinator, and today I will be taking you on a virtual tour of the recently updated New Yorkers for Parks website. The goal of this webinar is to make sure our advocates know what tools they have available to them on our website. This webinar will last about 15 minutes. I am joined today by my colleague Rena.
Hello everyone, my name is Rena, the Outreach Intern here at New Yorkers for Parks. For those of you who are new to New Yorkers for Parks, we are the citywide independent organization championing quality parks and open spaces for all New Yorkers in all neighborhoods. Here at New Yorkers for Parks, we believe that great parks make a great city, and we've been spreading this message for over 100 years. We're a research and advocacy organization that listens to and works with communities. We work with New Yorkers to craft park and open space related public policy, analyze data, create reports, and advocate every day for better parks across the city. With that in mind, let's get started.
If you are brand new to New Yorkers for Parks, this webinar will help you navigate our website. If you've not been to our website in a minute, you will notice a lot is different. We rolled out a brand new website in February that is more up to date and easier for advocates such as yourselves to use. You can access this website by going to www.ny4p.org. Here on the screen, you will see the homepage for this site. Right now, if you are following along on a tablet or mobile device, your screen may look a little different since we are using a desktop. However, you should still be able to follow this webinar using the menu at the top of your screen.
As you can see, there's a lot of info on this site. Today, we're going to focus mostly on the resources that best serve advocates and community members on a day-to-day basis. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't explore the rest of the site on your own. It's very user-friendly.
If you notice at the top of this page, there are several categories: who we are, what we do, our data and research, improve your park, the Daffodil Project, support us, news, and events. Each of these categories will take you to a page with subcategories. We are going to start at the top left and work our way over.
So as you can see, I've clicked on the Who We Are page. Here you can read about the New Yorkers for Parks mission. Parks and open spaces are the heart and soul of the city. So we work with communities, public officials, and park advocates across all the 5 boroughs to create, protect, and take care of them. We represent our core values of park advocacy through our research-driven programs, campaigns, collaborations, and events. Also on this page, you can find information about the New Yorkers for Parks staff, our history, employment opportunities, and the best ways to get in contact with us.
Moving on, when you click on the What We Do page, you will be able to navigate through various methods of advocacy. We take a collaborative approach to supporting our treasured parks through programs such as the Open Space Dialogues or our Borough by Borough series. If you want to know more information about these programs, or you missed one of these events but you still want to learn about it, these 2 pages are a great place to start. One particularly helpful feature on this page is the New Yorkers for Parks Public Realm Bill of Rights, which you get a short glimpse of in the video featured under this What We Do tab. When you click on the Advocacy tab, you will be taken to this Public Realm Bill of Rights panel, which will give you a more in-depth look. We created this document to help New York City residents and decision makers think about how to improve and better plan for quality open spaces, with an emphasis on access, infrastructure, health, environment, and funding. You can sign onto the Bill of Rights using this link to show your support. Below, you will see a webinar on this page detailing the Bill of Rights, as well as a Spanish and simplified Chinese version of the document.
Another very helpful feature on the advocacy page is the archive of all of our testimonies and positions. If you want to know what we said on the record at a past City Council hearing on beach erosion, for example, this library is where you'd look. 2 of the most useful pages for advocates are our Data and Research and Improve Your Parks pages. First, let's take a look at our Data and Research tab. Extensive open space resources are available in the City Council District Profiles, Report Card on Parks, Civic Action Tracker, and Open Space Index sections. These City Council District Profiles which you can see here on the screen, gives you tons of open space data about all of the city's districts, including a map of the districts, park conditions, ratio of residents to parks, accessibility, and so much more. Going back to our data and research section, you'll notice there are two subpages, Overview and the Research Library. The Research Library is one of the best ways to navigate our in-depth research and data on New York City parks and open space. On this page, there's an interactive map of various research that we've streamlined for your use. Here you can play with the filters, years, data types, and neighborhoods. For example, if you live in District 30 and wanted to see how your parks are doing, you could click on the City Council District Profile data type, find District 30, and then download that information. Another example, if you wanted to check out the report cards of some of your local parks, you could click on the report card data type and see the grade, then download more details about why it received the grade. Our Civic Action Tracker maps public space advocacy efforts within the city, such as rallies, marches, protests, as well as reported participation numbers. We have created open space indexes of several city neighborhoods to provide complete representations of the strengths and needs of these communities based on their open space provision, maintenance, accessibility, and sustainability. These resources are invaluable in making park advocacy more tangible. They can better help frame conversations you might initiate with your local decision makers, whether you're in touch with your local community board or city council member.
Our Improve Your Park section provides additional resources to help you get more involved in supporting your local parks and open spaces. Here you can learn about how parks function, who aids in supporting them, what ways you can advocate for parks, and programs that we have created to help community members enhance their parks. This is also where you can find our Advocacy Toolkit. It is titled Improve Your Park Quick Guide. On this toolkit, you will see two of our essential advocacy guides, the How Can I Improve My Park Guide and the Clean and Green Guide. We will cover these more in a moment. You will also see a list of the research we have mentioned so far in this webinar. On this side, you will notice a calendar of when you should act on advocating for your park and some ways to do so. The toolkit goes on to feature a phone book so you can stay organized, and on the right here, some tools from some of our partner organizations. This toolkit is a great one-stop shop for advocacy resources. Now we will look at the Primer on Parks page. This page details who plays major roles in parks and how parks are funded. New Yorkers for Parks created the Clean and Green Guide, which you saw in the Advocacy Toolkit. This illustrates how parks are being taken care of and by whom. These caretakers include the city park, maintenance crews, specialized staff members, public-private partnerships, and volunteers. The last page of this guide gives you resources for when you want to advocate for your park directly.
Like you saw in our Advocacy Toolkit, we created a guide and webinar on how you can advocate for your parks, titled How Can I Improve My Park? And we created another webinar about the steps to having your voice heard by the City Council. The Use Data and Research tab gives you shortcuts to some of the pages we previously mentioned.
The Plant-Free Daffodils tab gives you a quick peek at the Daffodil Project, but more information can be found in the main categories when you click on the Daffodil Project header in the main menu of our website. We will talk about the Daffodil Project more in depth a little later. The New Yorkers for Parks Borough by Borough tab briefly describes our outreach meetings and list of past events. The Mejore su Parque tab streamlines all the previously mentioned information that we have translated into Spanish, as well as a few Spanish webinars.
Now we're going to talk about the Daffodil Project. The Daffodil Project page is a comprehensive representation of what this program is all about and ways in which you can get involved. The program is organized every fall as a living memorial to 9/11 that brings communities together to beautify public spaces in all the parks. We distribute free daffodil bulbs to anyone who will plant them in New York City public spaces, such as street tree beds, community gardens, and parks. To date, over 7 million bulbs have been planted as a result of this program. It's been extremely well received by communities in all the 5 boroughs and continues to grow bigger and bigger with every coming year. If you have participated in this project, this page will take you to the daffodil blooming map, which will allow you to see where you planted your bulbs. If you didn't participate this season, but want to, remember to sign up for our newsletter, which is located at the top of our website. Here you'll find out when to register for the Daffodil Project next year. And don't forget to check out our mini webinar, which explains how to plant your bulbs.
We would not be able to defend the public realm without help and support. So, the support section page, you can find information about how to donate to New Yorkers for Parks, our corporate partners, how to become a partner, volunteer opportunities, and events we host, like our annual Party for Parks Gala and the Daffodil Breakfast, which celebrates organizations and individuals whose dedication to their communities makes NYC bloom each spring. We'd be remiss not to mention that New Yorkers for Parks is a 501c3 organization, and any gift of support to our work is tax deductible.
The News tab helps you keep up to date about what New Yorkers for Parks is currently working on. And our events shows you the dates of our upcoming events, such as panels, academic talks, community meetings, and daffodil distributions. This page is a great way to stay up to date on what New Yorkers for Parks is up to and learn about ways you can get involved.
We encourage you to further navigate through our website's new design. If you liked this webinar and want to see others like it, you can find them by using the Research Library tab under the Our Data and Research section and using the webinar filter. You can also sign up for our newsletter, subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram to see what New Yorkers for Parks is up to and learn about ways you can get involved. If you have any questions about the resources highlighted in this webinar, feel free to reach out and call our office at 212-838-9410 or send us an email at newyorkersforparks@newyorkersforparks.org. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you learned a lot.